Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to the weekly review special for week 12 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week, I brought in 4,430 points, up from 4,280 a week ago, which is amazing because there was a new series introduced this week. That's 99% of the time a step backwards. This time it was a step forward, so good week. Best round is actually still quite close. We just scored that a couple weeks ago, but 4,699. We're not far off from that, and none of the series finished a season or anything like that this week, meaning all of them have no reason to go backwards, but only forwards, and that's a positive sign. And when we're that close, it's possible we could break that record next week. Possible. No idea what's going to happen. Current virtual best down to 5,081 from last week's 5,353. Again, that has to do with the new series and is that more likely outcome, unlike the overall actually going up. All-time virtual best is unchanged this week as nothing has cracked the top 10 among the active games. Breaking down the games individually, in PCM 20, we have career mode, 486 points. We finished the Giro without victory. We claimed third place overall, and we now move on to the Tour de France. But with our score already, we're fairly certain to eclipse that 703 at some point this season. In the Champions Series, this one is taken off like a bat out of hell. Of course, now we have the players that have that maximum ceiling, and we're using the experiment to see how they do. Well, all of a sudden, they're starting to get really good, and we're claiming a lot of victories. We're getting 1, 2, 3s. We had a race where we had 6 of the top 7 placings. We didn't end up hanging on to that actually at the end of the race. We only ended up 3rd place, but we've had top 5 finishes where we've swept the positions. We're starting to get pretty dominant and scoring a lot of points, and it's just our first year in World Tour, and we haven't even reached the Grand Tours yet, so I think we're going to easily max out that 1,000 points this season. It seems inevitable. In the Women's Tour, 64 points, a good little jump from where we were a week ago. We added 30 points on top of that. It's still pretty early in the season. Our team is not what it was a year ago. In other ways, it's better. Much better. So we lost our 2 best riders. They had zero interest in re-signing with us. There was nothing that we could do about trying to recover those 2. So those 2, bye-bye. And that hurt because almost all of our points came from those 2 riders. Now, this year, we have way more depth, but we lack the quality that those 2 riders had. So pulling together results otherwise has been more difficult, but because we have better depth and better quality overall within the team, we're still managing to get a fairly decent amount of results, more of them than what we were getting with just the 2 riders and only the races that they participated in, and then not always. So I think we'll somehow manage to be around where we were, and maybe more, because we are actually now in Continental Pro, where we were just a Continental team before. In Zwift, another minor increase up to 259 points now, making steady progress. Of course, my focus right now has been on the Cycling March Madness series, which we are through the Sweet 16. So we're into what is going to be the final episode of that, where we have the Elite 8, the Final 4, and the championship game all in that one episode, because it's just not going to take us that long to cover those things. And then we have FM21, and this is where we've made our big change. So both Worst to First and Zero to Hero retired a week ago and have now been replaced by a single series, which is the Perfect Manager. This is the new one. So 29 points to get started, and I'm halfway through the season. What I've done in this one is we have level 1 facilities. We have no team. We have no finances. We have no reputation. We're starting from scratch, with one exception. The Perfect Manager has come along to take a brand new startup team from the 10th tier and try to bring them as far as they can take them. And we've actually found a decent amount of success already in this series. For one thing, we managed to win with a ghost team. That was surprising. Didn't think we could pull that off. Was not a consistent thing, but having a good manager makes a difference. Having a good tactic makes a difference. But then we started to bring players in, and it did not take long. We lost the next couple of matches, but then we've started to get results from there. We don't get results in every match right now. We're still an amateur squad, complete amateurs, so no one is being paid, even the manager. So everybody's working for free, which is nice at the moment because it's allowing us to build up a little bit of base finances. And so things are off to a good start, but we've got a long, long ways to go. Also, Gladiator Manager retired, so that was 3 series out, 1 series in, so it's actually freed up a little bit of time for me to get caught up on some things. We do have some new series on the way, though. In terms of the all-time virtual best, with those retirements, it's now the 3 long-standing PCM 20 series are the 3 on that outside looking in, with 11th and 13th right there, and that PCM 20 champions could be as soon as next week that we see that break into the top 10, depending on how things go. Maybe the week after, but certainly within the next 2 weeks, that'll be into the top 10. The women's tour is nowhere near. I wouldn't be surprised if Swift passes that before too long, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one. That's going to do it for this review special, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.